Okay guys, welcome to your video tutorial on equivalent fractions. Just a reminder on what fractions are. A fraction is part of a whole number. This is the way I like to explain it. There's a numerator and a denominator. The numerator is the guy on the top, the denominator is the guy on the bottom. Pretty straightforward. I like to explain the numerator, the guy on the top of the numerator on the top, sorry. It's the count of the number of parts we have. The denominator on the bottom is how many parts make up a whole. So if I had a pizza and I had a quarter of a pizza, that pizza, how many parts make up a whole? Well, 4. What's the count of the number of parts that we or I have? Well, 1. That's how I like to explain a fraction. Today we're going to look at equivalent fractions. Equivalent fractions are fractions that are, quite literally as their name suggests, equivalent. They are just different ways of representing the same count of parts. The size of my fraction or the value of it is unchanged if I multiply the numerator and the denominator by the same number. So, let's rewrite these fractions. Let's find an equivalent fraction for the following. And I want a denominator of 40. So 3 over 5. I don't want to change the size of the fraction, but I want to make an equivalent denominator of 40. The question I have to ask myself, what did I multiply 5 by to get 40? 5 eighths are 40. So the number I have to multiply the 3 by is absolutely the same. 3 eighths, if I multiply 5 by 8, I need to do 3 by 8. 3 eighths are 24. So that's A. This one here, that's A. This one here, B. Okay, B is a half at the moment, or 1 over 2. I need to give it a denominator over 40. What have I multiplied 2 by to get to 40? Well, I've times 2 by 20. If I multiply the bottom by 20, I have to do exactly the same thing to the top. I have to multiply the top by 20. So half with a denominator of 40, an equivalent fraction, is 20 over 40. Okay, let's have a look at C. I've got 7 over 4. Okay. And I need to have a denominator of 40. I ask myself, what have I multiplied 4 by to get 40? Well, 10. If I multiply the bottom by the 10, I have to multiply the top by 10. And I get an answer of 70 over 40. Now, I'm hoping some of you stop and go, 70 over 40? Isn't the numerator meant to be smaller than the denominator? And you're right, it usually is in a proper fraction. This guy is called an improper fraction, and you should remember those from year 7. I could, if I wanted to, change him into a mixed numeral, but I'm not going to worry about it at the moment. The last example I have, D, is 36 over 120. Now, this time I'm not multiplying. I must have divided by it to get 40. I have to ask myself, what have I divided 120 by to get 40? Well, 40 goes into 123 times, so I must have divided by 3. I've divided by 3. If I divide the top by 3, the bottom by 3, I have to divide the top by 3. I don't know my 36 times tables, so I'm going to partition. Okay, what's 30 divided by 3? 10. What's 6 divided by 3? 2. So my answer is 12. 12 on 40. And that's how you find equivalent fractions when you're asked a denominator. When I simplify fractions, I'm actually also finding an equivalent fraction. I'm simply finding an equivalent fraction in a simpler way to understand. So I have 8 on 20. There's an easier way I can write 8 on 20. I need to find a factor that goes into 20 that goes into 8. For some of you, you can do it this way. You can try halving it and then halving it again. So I can halve 8 to get 4. And I can halve 20 to get 10. And then I go, oh, I can do that one again. I can halve 4 to get 2. And 10 to get 5. Okay, I can't halve them anymore. That's one process. The other way you could also look at this, guys, is I'm hoping some of you can see that 4 is a factor that goes into 20 and 8. 4 goes into 8 twice and into 25 times. I haven't changed the size of the fraction. I've just used different numbers or more simple numbers to represent it. Okay, 25 and 15, slightly easier. I'm hoping most of you can see the 5. 5 goes into 25 and 5 also goes into 15. 5 goes into 25 how many times? 5 times. 5 goes into 15 3 times. Again, I'm hoping that you can see that that guy there is an improper fraction again. I could change him into a mixed numeral if I want, but I don't feel like it at the moment. And that's it, guys. That's equivalent fractions.